of the spas offers its visitors to beer with coffee brewed with water from the natural hot springs of Hakone. Their prices start from $100, and they can go up from there. You're probably wondering, is the food clean though? The answer? Yes. You know how Japanese, one of our main concerns when visiting a different place is the restroom. Are they clean? Are they accessible? Among the wonders of Japan is the rent-a-girlfriend service. Yes, you heard that right.
It's like, konnichiwa minasan, kyo desu. Things that cannot be seen outside Japan. Excited to watch this video, but before that, guys, just make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel.
There's no doubt that Japan is one of the most well-known countries in the world, and for good reason.
Obviously.
Aside from the fact that millions around the world support anime, Japan's claim to fame is its culture, food, and of course, all of the natural tourist destinations the country could offer. As a tourist, Japan, or Nihon, can offer you a lot of unique experiences that you can only experience in the land of the rising sun. So if you're interested in this country, let me show you some of the most interesting and unique things it has to offer. From public baths to the introvert foodie's paradise, Ichiran Ramen. Number 15. Public baths. Are you comfortable bathing with strangers?
Don't have that in the West.
I know, it's a weird question to ask. But if you've seen any anime or Japanese drama, then you might already know that in Japan, public bathhouses are a thing. And this might give you a little bit of a culture shock. Public baths are called sento in Japan, and it has a very long history. They originated in the 6th century, but they skyrocketed in popularity during the Edo period, from 1603 to 1868. Typically, people not only go to bathhouses just to clean themselves, but also to relax. I think we all know how a good soak can wash away the fatigue of the day, especially after a particularly stressful day at work. There are some things you should remember if you want to visit one of these establishments. Most of the bathhouses allow people with tattoos, but some don't. Also, the baths are separated based on gender. But of course, since it's a public bathhouse, there will also be people around you. You might feel awkward and self-conscious at first, but trust me, bathing in a sento or a hot spring bath is the perfect way to de-stress.
It was awkward for me at first.
Number 14, cat cafes.
Yeah, I know.
Here is the perfect cafe for you, especially if you're a cat lover. Even if you're more of a dog person, you'll definitely still have a fun time in Japan's many cat cafes. What's so special about them? Well, aside from the fact that their interior is adorable, they're also filled with cute cats that patrons can play with. These cats roam freely around the establishment, and you can pet them or watch them play or sleep while you sip some coffee and eat some cake. The very first cat cafe in Japan opened its doors in Osaka in 2004. Today, there are over 150 cat cafes in Japan, and Tokyo, which is Japan's capital and its most populated city, has over 39 of them. There's actually a reason why there are so many cat cafes in Tokyo alone. Aside from the expensive rent, most apartments in Tokyo have strict rules which sadly include prohibiting pets. Most people that want to see some cats visit cat cafes instead. That makes sense. Cat cafes in Japan aren't your typical Starbucks, and you might find that the coffee prices are a little bit more expensive.
Of course.
You're practically paying more for the experience than the coffee, so it's understandable. Square watermelons.
To be expected.
If you play Minecraft or you just like to try out unique food in general,
definitely
then you might want to check out the square watermelons of Japan. You might wander around the supermarket, and as you pass by the produce section, you'll see these cube watermelons in a much fancier display than others. They might look weird, but they're very common in Japan. If you want to get your hands on one of these, you might have second thoughts after hearing the price. They're on the pricier side, and square watermelons are definitely not one of the things people will buy on a whim. Ready for the price reveal? Their prices start from $100, and they can go up from there. What makes these watermelons special? Well, aside from their size, nothing else. They taste like normal watermelon, but I guess you'd have less difficulty cutting cubed ones because of their shape. Number 10, capsule hotels.
I've been to one.
Would you be interested in staying in one of these? If you're claustrophobic, probably not. Capsule hotels are definitely unique lodging spaces. Just as the name suggests, they're compact, small, but still pretty cozy. They're the #1 option for people that are on a budget, but many tourists also book capsule hotels just for the experience. Inside one capsule, you get a mattress, a blanket, a pillow, and some space to store your belongings in. And you'll also have a controllable nightlight. You can also typically buy a shower card if you want to take a bath. Compared to other hotels, a capsule hotel is the best choice for those looking for affordable single-night accommodation. One night typically costs around 3,000 to 4,000 yen, which roughly amounts to about $30. But if you want a premium experience, some high-end capsule hotels also offer better accommodations for an additional price. Number 9. Wine, coffee, and green tea bath. How would you like to bathe in green tea,
never heard of this.
wine, or coffee? Why do you need to relax while soaking in warm water when you can easily have a relaxing tea bath? This is the exotic spa called the Unison Spa Resort in Japan. The liquids here may be a bit unorthodox.
Never
but
heard
hey,
of it.
you only live once, right? It's time to live like royalty and bathe in wine. It's not just about being lavish. There are actually some claims that bathing in wine will rejuvenate the entire body. And one of the most notable figures to do this is the Queen of Egypt, Cleopatra. In Unison, you can drink wine while bathing in wine. And if you want to remove some blemishes, sake is the way to go. If you want to boost your immune system, then a green tea bath will do the trick. Going inside the Unison Spa Resort can be a pretty magical experience. Are you one of the people that can't start their day without coffee? Well, in Unison, you can start your day with a blast of your caffeine by literally immersing yourself in it. One of the spas offers its visitors to bathe with coffee brewed with water from the natural hot springs of Hakone. You don't have to worry because fresh batches are added to the spring daily.
Of course.
Number 7. Fancy toilet. One of our main concerns when visiting a different place is the restroom. Are they clean? Are they accessible? It's common knowledge that Japan has a reputation for having clean establishments and clean public restrooms.
Best toilets ever.
Sounds like a dream, right? Well, that's not all. Some Japanese toilets are actually pretty fancy. Aside from the fact that they're well maintained, they offer some unique features that your ordinary toilet doesn't have. These fancy futuristic toilets have a built-in bidet that you can control. It has a front and back stream depending on what business you have, if you know what I mean. This means you can clean yourself without needing to stand up. You don't have to worry about freezing toilet seats either because these fancy toilets have heated seats.
Boy,
And
these
during
toilets
the
are very
hotter months,
fancy.
Some toilets also have an air-conditioned toilet rim. And that's not all. They also have air deodorizers built in. And the fancier ones have a speaker if you want to jam while using the toilet. And there are even glow-in-the-dark options.
Crazy,
It can be quite confusing to see the control panel, though. For many of us, the drawings don't make any sense. But the longer you stay in Japan, the more you'll like using these innovative toilets.
The best. The best.
Number 6.
The best.
Kawaii culture. If you're an anime fan, chances are you already know what the term kawaii means. In Japan, the kawaii culture is literally the culture of cuteness. The term can refer to almost anything, to a person, an item, or anything that's cute and sweet. In Japan, kawaii culture can be seen in almost everything, including clothing. I guess this explains the number of cute mascots they have. Have you seen how many Pikachus they have on the streets?
A lot.
Number 5. Vending machines galore. If we're talking about vending machines,
probably the country
Japan
with
is
the
the
most
number one contender for having the weirdest and also the most awesome ones. In most countries, vending machines only offer you a limited brand of drinks, but in Japan, you can get pretty much almost anything from vending machines.
It's crazy.
You can get ramen, ice cream, toys, grapes, cakes, and even popcorn. How cool is that? The older vending machines usually accept cash payments in 10, 50, 100, and 500 yen coins. But for the newer vending machines, having no coins is not a problem because they can scan your card. These machines can drop you a hot meal in less than a minute. If you look around, you can also spot ones that drop some onigiri, spaghetti, french fries, and even a face mask. You're probably wondering, is the food clean though? The answer? Yes. You know how Japanese people are when it comes to cleanliness. The food almost always has an expiration date printed on its packaging, so you know that it's still good to eat. Number 4. Rent-a-girlfriend. Among the wonders of Japan is the rent-a-girlfriend service. Yes, you heard that right.
It's like
Japan has a service where people can rent a girlfriend for a price. There are a lot of companies that offer this service, and most of them have websites on the internet where you can browse which girl you want to avail the services of. It might sound absurd, but it's actually a pretty serious industry, and there are a lot of requirements for someone to be an employee for a rent-a-girlfriend company. Of course, women with boyfriends are not allowed to apply unless they have their boyfriend's permission. They also prefer women who are more aesthetically pleasing, if you know what I mean. And they also prefer women who are great at making conversation. I know that it sounds bizarre, but rental services just like this one are actually becoming increasingly popular in Japan. More and more tourists are also looking forward to trying it as well. In fact, this isn't the only rental service you can have in Japan. You can also rent a boyfriend, a friend, or even a family member. Prices are different, but usually companies will price 6,000 yen per hour for a minimum of 2 hours. That's almost $100. First-timers can usually pick who they want to take out for free, but after that they would need to pay an additional cost of about 2,000 yen, or about $15 to choose the one they want to take out. Number 2. KFC for Christmas. Some people celebrate Christmas.
I know this one.
And celebrations vary across the world.
Japan
In the United States, for example, eating a stuffed turkey with potatoes and maybe some apple pie or eggnog for dessert is the way to go. Many would say that homemade food is the best, and it should be preferred over takeout during the holidays. But Japan is a bit different. People in Japan follow a long tradition of getting KFC for Christmas. I know it's fast food, but
I don't know how this
you gotta
came to
admit
be.
that their fried chicken is pretty great. But why exactly do Japanese people prefer KFC? In fact, they prefer it so much that an estimated 3.6 million Japanese families buy fried chicken from the American fast food chain. The story goes that the manager of the very first KFC in the country, Takeshi Okawara, thought that they should sell a party barrel on Christmas Day. He got the idea after overhearing some foreigners talk about how they missed having turkey for Christmas. And so he thought that maybe having a Christmas chicken can be a decent substitute for turkey. And so the marketing began.
That makes sense.
And it worked.
That makes
It
sense.
clicked with the public. And to this day, it's considered a national tradition. Unlike your usual KFC takeout, though, a Christmas barrel is a bit more special. Aside from the usual chicken and sides, the meals include cake and wine. Pretty fancy, right? This phenomenon buying a specific brand of takeout is unique.
They would never sell wine in an American
I would bet that you've never heard of this anywhere else in the world. I do like turkey for Christmas, but who knows? I might give KFC a try for the holidays. Number 1.
Eggnog.
Ichiran Ramen. Whenever
I knew
people
this. I haven't been to one before.
One of the number one things people think about is sushi. And of course ramen. Despite being popular mostly in Japan, people all around the world seem to like this food. And for good reason. Japanese ramen just always hits the spot.
It does.
We all know the main foundation of good ramen is a great broth. Most Japanese restaurants prioritize making delicious and delectable soup. They can add many ingredients depending on the taste they're aiming for, like pork bones, shellfish, beef bones, fish, or even vegetables. Regardless of the variation, though, they always make sure that the bowl is exploding with flavor. You're probably thinking, but I can still eat ramen anywhere else. So why is Ichiran Ramen so special? Well, here's the thing. If you're an introvert whose idea for a perfect dinner on the way back home after work is to dine alone without being judged, then the Ichiran Ramen restaurant will definitely be your paradise. You can slurp your food here in peace. I mean, in Japan, slurping isn't considered rude. You can eat and slurp the soup all you want. It's not disrespectful. On the contrary, it just means you're enjoying the food. In Ichiran, you can eat alone, and you're seated at a partitioned table. Anxious about ordering? You don't need to be. Unlike most restaurants, where the staff will stand beside you while you awkwardly browse the menu, here in Ichiran, you're given a pen and paper where you can customize the ramen according to your taste. Once you're done, a staff member will fetch your order and serve your food. While you're eating, they'll close the cover for maximum privacy. The best thing? You have free hot water right by your table. And most of the time they give you some green tea so you can make your own as a complimentary drink with your ramen.
It's crazy.
Delicious food and privacy?
Japan.
Count me in.
Japan. Only in Japan, of course. I would say the thing that shocked me the most definitely had to be the green tea, coffee, and wine spas. I've researched a lot about Japan, and I knew a lot of things on this list, but that was a shock to me. I never knew a place like that existed. Definitely whenever I get back to Japan, I would love to visit that because that's very unique. But this again just goes to show that Japan is a very unique society, really one of the most unique societies in the world. So take pride in being Japanese because your country and culture is extremely different. So if you guys liked the video, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, also hit that bell as well to get notified whenever we post a video. Honto, arigatou gozaimasu. Minna, kiyotsukete. じゃあね。